Overthinking is just like any addiction. You do it without realizing. An alcoholic picks up a bottle without thinking, and overthinking is the same. Automatic, compulsive. But I broke out of it using a method that works just like what addicts use to quit. Let me explain. I grew up in a first world country just like you. And so, just like you, I had first world problems. And if you're watching this, you're probably Gen Z. So you're 18 years old, 20 years old, maybe slightly younger, slightly older. And regardless of what age you are, our main problem is overthinking. We fucking think too much. We think about all kinds of things. Our brains are constantly on, constantly thinking about something or another. And listen, I don't even have Instagram. I don't even use TikTok. I don't scroll. I don't use Twitter. Of course, I'll come back to Instagram after I'm done with this period that I'm on right now. But that's my only thing. And currently, for the past few months, all I've used is WhatsApp. And I still overthink. It still pops up in my mind. My mind still starts racing. And so that's when I realized that this goes deeper than just social media. It goes deeper than just using something, because even though I'm not using this, my brain is still kind of fucked. And obviously it all comes from childhood. The content we consumed as kids, the bullshit we learned at school, and the entertainment that we had, it became a crutch. As a kid, you'd see regular show on at a certain time on Cartoon Network, so you'd go watch it. But now, you can get that same level of, no, not even that same level, you can get a super maxed out level of entertainment at the click of a button on your phone, which is literally a tiny piece of plastic or metal in your pocket. That's just been amplified to the point where now you don't have any control. Back then it was like if a certain cartoon was gonna come out at a certain time, you'd have to wait until that cartoon came on. Now it's like, fuck, you wanna watch anything, pull out your phone, type it in, you'll find it. From the most fucked up things to the most normal things, but whatever it is, you can find it at the click of a button like that. And this is something I noticed when I actually stopped using some of my vices. When I was 16, I stopped using X-rated content. And I realized that, holy shit, my brain actually has a capacity beyond what I had when I was using that content. And that was years ago. And so recently I came to the conclusion that overthinking is basically like any other addiction. Anything that you do. I used X-rated content when I was 15, 16. Now I'm 20. Now my crutch is overthinking. And it basically mirrors every other addiction out there, from alcohol to drugs to junk food to X-rated content, anything. So all overthinking is an addiction. And just like an alcoholic that drinks without thinking, he just picks up the bottle, starts drinking it without even realizing where the bottle came from, how he ended up there, what he was doing before he started drinking. Overthinking is the same thing with a little twist. And so the little breakthrough that I had was that we kind of force ourselves to overthink. So the way overthinking works is that you're doing something that's not overthinking, probably something fun, something you enjoy doing, like playing a sport or playing a video game or hanging out with somebody. And then the thought pops in, not the overthinking, but the thought to overthink. Overthinking is such a habit that you remember to overthink. You remember, you have flashbacks of yourself overthinking. And not that you enjoy it, but it's something that you just do so much that it kind of becomes part of your routine. So all you gotta do is realize that we kind of force ourselves to overthink. The thought comes into overthink and we're like, okay, yeah, let's submit to this. You allow yourself to overthink. That's gonna take a bit of work and a bit of pain, or what people like to call withdrawal when it comes to addictions. You gotta kind of fight it, but also allow yourself to not overthink, because it's kind of a choice. Everything you do is a choice. Nobody's forcing your brain to overthink. Nobody's doing anything to your head. Nobody's injecting anything in your brain. No. All that's happening is that you're allowing yourself to do it. And when that pivot moment comes, when the scale is about to flip and you're about to fall into the overthinking end, just don't allow it to happen. And that will take a bit of work. I promise, just allowing yourself to be in the moment, whatever you're doing, because overthinking happens when you're in a kind of fluid flow state. Maybe you're working out and suddenly you're benching and you suddenly think about something, what somebody said, maybe an intrusive thought, maybe something that happened, and now you're trying to rationalize it and come up with a reasoning behind it that kind of damages your self-image and makes you feel like shit, but you keep on doing it. Happens to all of us. But the only way to stop it is to just be like, shut the fuck up. That shit's not real. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. It's not helping you. Because you know for a fact that most of the overthinking you do doesn't help you. And if it is some kind of productive overthinking, it's probably a lot rarer than you think. You can allow that to happen because you know when it's productive and when it's not productive. And so the main thing that I did is that the way I stopped my overthinking was I basically directed my energy into a different direction. So overthinking is basically a pool of energy, right? If you just sit with this energy, if you just sit with this bucket of water, it's going to fall in all kinds of directions. And it's not just going to fall in one little direction. It's going to spill in all kinds of directions, in all the wrong directions. But if you do one simple thing, if you just spill it in one direction, in one simple direction of your choosing, then you can allow all of that focus, all of that water, all of that energy to just, you can control it. You can allow it to pass to that one thing that you actually want to think about, the one thing that you actually want to do. That's exactly what I did. I picked my physique. I picked the one thing that actually would change my life, because the overthinking that we do are usually about things like pussy, girls, status, self-worth. These are the things that we overthink about. Generally, all these things that we do think about comes down to this: money. The thing I did at 16 was I started building my physique. I started building my aesthetic, attractive physique, even though I had bad genetics. And so that's how my overthinking decreased so much, from quitting X-rated content to implementing the habit of building my aesthetic, attractive physique. It gave me a clear goal and a sense of purpose, some kind of direction to focus all that energy that I had. Because if you're watching this, you're probably an ambitious, crazy young guy like me. That's why this is in your recommended. You have a lot of energy. I have a lot of energy. So we got to put it in some direction. I picked my physique, my body. It solved a lot of the problems, a lot of the things that I would overthink about, a lot of the things that I would put myself down for. Girls, self-worth, respect from other people. It got solved when I actually started building my physique. And most importantly, training didn't just make me look good. It also rewired my brain, my confidence. My entire reality had been warped. Right now, if you're stuck, if you're constantly thinking about things, all kinds of things, regardless of what they may be, and it's probably not because you need more answers, you just need something to do. You need a direction to follow that pulls you out of your thoughts and into action. And that's what training did for me, more so the act of training than the results. But especially when I started seeing the results that I did, I stopped second guessing everything, especially the things I used to constantly overthink about, and stopped living in my own fucking brain and in the real world. So if you're stuck in the same cycle and you want to follow the same thing as I did, click the link below and I can show you a way out. But with that being said, that's how I fixed my overthinking. It was a process of acknowledging it, getting rid of vices that were actually fucking up my head, and finding something to do with all that energy, and just letting it snowball into more realizations, more fucking new habits, new things to do that were just better than wasting all my energy in unnecessary thinking, overthinking. So with that being said, that's it for this video. If you want to know exactly how I built my physique, crushing all my genetic limitations, check out the link below. Promise you will not regret it, and it'll give you that direction as well, something to do, something to focus on for a set time period to actually get you results that will pay you in many ways, looking good being just one of them. With that being said, I will catch you in the next video. Have a good one. Peace.